Okay, so that's only one part of today. All right, so now we're going to look at a few pictures. In your handout, the pictures are a bit dark, so I suggest looking at the slides. And so now think what these students are doing. Let's look at slide 1 here. The students are doing something. It looks like a museum, actually, or a hallway, but they're wearing some kind of costume there. Okay. That's slide 1. It's a high school. Slide 2 here, these students, what they're doing. Slide 3 here, what the students are doing. Yeah, they're pointing at something, or many things. Maybe they're dancing. Okay, so we have a guess of dancing here. All of them combined. So think about slides 1, 2, and 3. I'll go back to slide 2 and show what that is. Look at what they're wearing also. There's some kind of costume, right? And look at slide 1. Slide 1, it's far away a little bit. We'll go back to that one, actually, for that one. And this last slide here. The top one are the students, but the bottom one is a famous painting by a French romanticist, anyway, a French painter in the 1800s, Géricault. And so it's hard to see in the bottom, but it's a very famous one, but it's a boat that is sinking, and there are a lot of people falling on top of each other. They're dying. And the top on the right are students. Okay. So can anyone here tell me what's going on in your head? What do you think these students are doing in these slides? Ideas? Anyone in Bangkok, Hua Hin, or Nong Khai can just take the microphone and share. What do you think these students were doing? I'll show this one again. Thinking of all 4 of them. Oh, can you use the microphone? Thank you. Oh, you're not? It's okay if you're not sure.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
I think that they are taking picture. They are being taken picture.
Ah, okay. So they're posing, so
yes,
people can take
posing.
a picture of them.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Good guess, Ajahn.
I think like that, and finally the last pose action.
They were doing something, and finally, okay, the last pose. Okay.
Yes.
Any other guesses? Those are good guesses. There is an idea about doing something and posing, so someone could take a picture. And actually, there is an idea of posing, pose, right? There's an expression called strike a pose, strike a pose. Madonna sang a song called Vogue, and she sings strike a pose the whole time. And this kind of activity is called a tableau. It's another French word. And what those students were doing is called a tableau vivant, which it really means living picture, tableau. Living because the people are alive. I'm alive, I'm posing, okay? A living picture. So kind of like what you said, someone took a picture of them. But it's kind of like taking a painting and doing it again, but instead of painting on paper, you are the painting, and you have to stay still. Like someone tells you, okay, freeze, and you are frozen. You are a living picture because the people in the picture are alive. And it's also live on stage, like that. So let's go back to a slide, actually. That one's from a painting, right? See if you see the words, if you see the words up there, it says AP Art History. It's an art history class. And they were having fun and trying to reenact the painting. But that's called living picture because the people there are alive. And I'm not sure what they were doing there, but maybe that's after a story. And this one is also another painting. And they were trying to do it again, and they put on the costume, because that's what people were wearing. So a tableau vivant or living picture is an activity that you can do in class, so students can try to recreate or tell a story by themselves, and they have to pose and show you the story, but they can't move, they're just posing. And you could think of this also as like theater or the stage. A lot of actors just posing, right, after, and just still, very still. So thinking about this idea, besides a painting, besides students trying to copy a painting with themselves, what other kind of living pictures or tableau can you and your students create? What do you think are some other, besides using paintings, what else can they use so they can strike a pose and create a tableau?
ค่ะอาจารย์ก็ได้เห็นภาพตัวอย่างภาพสไลด์ตัวอย่าง Tableau Vivant ไปแล้วนะคะก็ที่อาจารย์เชอธิบายคือเป็น living picture ก็คือว่าคนเนี่ยแสดงท่านะคะแล้วก็ให้ถ่ายรูปไว้โดยที่จะไม่ขยับเขยื้อนร่างกายเลยนะคะแล้วก็ภาพที่เห็นตัวอย่างนั้นเป็นการแสดงท่าเลียนแบบภาพวาดนะคะทีนี้อาจารย์ก็ถามว่านอกจากภาพวาดแล้วอาจารย์จะสามารถที่จะทำ Tableau เนี่ยนะคะโดยใช้อย่างอื่นได้ไหมนะคะถ้าไม่ใช่ภาพวาดถ้าเราไม่เรียนแบบภาพวาดค่ะอาจจะลองคิดดูนะคะเพื่อที่จะนำไปใช้เป็นกิจกรรมสำหรับนักเรียนของอาจารย์นะคะ
We'll try to get some ideas, right? And after you talk and brainstorm, any ideas? We'll start with Hua Hin, then Bangkok, then Nong Khai. Some of your ideas about Tableau in your classroom.
เช่นสอนเรื่องอาชีพอะไรเงี้ยอาชีพนะ career อาชีพก็มา action ว่านะ what do I do อะไรเงี้ยนะหรืออาชีพอะไรก็ it depends นะ it depends
ก็น่าจะมีนำพยาบาลได้อะไรอย่างเงี้ยหรือว่าเราจะโยนโจทย์ให้เด็ก
All right, so let's hear some ideas. Oh, I hear a lot of ideas brewing here.
I have an idea.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. I guess we're starting with Bangkok, then Hua Hin, then Nong Khai.
I think we use about copy characteristic for someone such as Charlie Chaplin.
Such as what? Say that again. Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And comedy man, foreign and Thailand.
So you're saying maybe you can assign students to dress up like Charlie Chaplin,
Yeah.
and then they reenact
Like
a
a-
story, and they act
yeah,
like him. Oh, okay.
Like a lover.
Ah. And then they can just maybe dress up and then tell a story from a Charlie Chaplin movie.
Yeah.
And then they can pose, right?
Yes.
And students can guess.
It's a clear character.
A clear character.
Yeah, clear character.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everyone see that and they know Charlie Chaplin.
Many students are familiar with him because he does have a very memorable feature.
Yeah.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And anyone else here? Okay.
In the class, if we give the student the name of the place and make them think about the picture this happened in this place and let them make in the group and make the picture what happened in that place and let their friend guess about that. What is he doing? What is he doing? What is she doing? And at last the friend have to guess about where is that? Where is that?
Right.
Yeah, just like that.
Exactly. Thank you. That's great. Like, for example, a beach, maybe. Everyone's lying down. Even though they're in a classroom, maybe they're going like this, reading a book. Or maybe someone in the back is going, right? And someone's like this. No, just kidding. A shark. Yeah, that's great. Oh, I know. The beach. Yeah, thank you. The sea. All right. How about in Hua Hin?
Hello, good morning. In the class, I give them things that the famous cartoons, such as cartoons of the Walt Disney, okay, and then give them show the imitate, like it, yeah, yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you. So you could base it on a Disney story or a famous scene in a Disney story, and then maybe they become part of their, they choose their favorite Disney character, and then they pose, right? And maybe some students guess, oh, I know, you're this character from this Disney story. Yeah, perfect. Fun. All right. Nong Khai?
For Nong Khai is a very simple idea. Just I teach a very young of age student okay, look at me and see who am I. Like I flying and they guess. Maybe someone guess I am an aeroplane, the planes, and now we have the music instrument like a tambourine thing called, and everyone be a aeroplane, then fly. We learn the word fly, and now take off, and they take off, and now landing, and land together. Right. And after that, we choose one student to show the act in front of the class and guess what is that happened, like the plane crashing, something funny. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Pick the picture from them in front of the class, and the other student tell what happened after we learn the plane fly together with the music instrument. Yeah.
Thank you. That's actually adapting the tableau vivant instead of like a I mean, it is still a living picture, but it's kind of also like a living flashcard. You know, a flashcard?
Yeah.
You know, instead of just instead of a story or a sentence or a painting, it's a vocabulary word or a verb phrase, right? You can learn airplane, and then you can teach verbs: landing airplane, to fly an airplane, to crash an airplane. I don't want to crash an airplane.
Yeah,
but that's perfect. Your class sounds like fun.
Yeah, and sometimes the plane stop now, and they have to freezing. Yeah, stop.
Yeah, and the plane is frozen in the air.
Yeah, frozen. Yeah. Fun one.
Fun one. Yes, thank you very much. Fun.
ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ก็ได้คิดว่าจะใช้ Tableau Vivant นะคะในลักษณะใดได้อีกนอกจากถ้าจะเรียนแบบ Painting นะคะก็ทางกรุงเทพก็เสนอว่าอาจจะทำเป็นลักษณะเป็นเรียนแบบคนนะคะบุคคลที่เป็นที่รู้จักนะคะก็เด็กจะได้เดาได้ง่ายอย่างเช่นทำท่าแบบชาลีแชปลินนะคะหรือว่าแสดงท่าที่เป็นการบอกซีนบอกฉากหรือเหตุการณ์ในสถานที่ใดสถานที่หนึ่งนะคะก็มีหลายคนทำกริยาท่าทางหลายๆอย่างพร้อมๆกันนะคะค้างไว้แล้วก็อาจจะพอเดาได้แล้วว่าแต่ละท่าทางเป็นกริยาอะไรแล้วก็ให้เดาว่าฉากนั้นคืออะไรนะคะอยู่ที่ไหนเหตุการณ์นั้นหรือว่าจะเรียนแบบตัวการ์ตูนนะคะก็ได้หรือว่าอย่างที่ท่านอาจารย์ที่หนองคายก็บอกว่าอาจจะทำท่าซึ่งอาจารย์เชก็บอกว่าท่าหนึ่งอาจจะถ้าสอนเด็กเล็กเด็กประถมอาจจะเป็นท่าหนึ่งก็คำศัพท์หนึ่งนะคะทำท่าบินนะคะทำท่าเป็นแอร์เพลนทำท่าเป็นแลนดิ้งหรืออะไรอย่างนั้นนะคะก็ประกอบกันไปแต่ว่าจะต้องโพสท่าให้นิ่งเอาไว้นะคะค่ะ
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we were talking about what your students can do. Now we're thinking about what you can do. Now it's your turn to do a tableau vivant or a living picture. right? So the Hey Mambo was just the beginning. I warned you all, just the beginning. So now it's your turn you can form teams, right? Each site is a team. So we have Team Hua Hin, Team Nong Khai, Team Bangkok. And I want you all to agree on a famous story, okay? So a story that everyone can guess, okay? It could be a Thai story. It could also be a famous story in history of Thailand that everyone can guess, okay? So remember, it's a striking a pose, no action. The action is frozen, right? And so the other sites will guess and they'll explain what is the story and how do you know, right? How do you know? So each team will have 2 minutes to discuss and agree on a story. Okay, who's gonna do what? So you can all decide your role.
ค่ะกิจกรรมนี้นะคะอาจารย์จะต้องรวมกลุ่มกันนะคะกรุงเทพก็เป็น1กลุ่มหนองคาย1กลุ่มหัวหิน1กลุ่มนะคะหรืออาจารย์จะแยกกลุ่มอีกก็ได้ถ้าท่านอาจารย์มีหลายท่านเกินไปนะคะแล้วก็คิดเรื่องที่จะทำ tableau vivant นะคะจะเป็นเรื่องอะไรก็ได้นะคะขอให้เป็นเรื่องที่จะเดาได้ง่ายนะคะอาจจะเป็นเรื่องที่ทุกคนรู้นะคะเป็นเรื่องในประวัติศาสตร์ก็ได้นะคะเรื่องเกี่ยวกับอะไรก็ได้นะคะที่ทุกคนทราบนะคะแล้วก็คิดท่าทางแล้วทำท่าแล้วเดี๋ยวให้พอทางกรุงเทพทำท่าอีก2ไซต์นะคะหัวหินหนองคายก็เดาหัวหินทำท่าหนองคายกรุงเทพก็เดานะคะหนองคายทำท่าก็กรุงเทพหัวหินก็ลองเดาดูนะคะค่ะเดี๋ยวเราจะทำตัวอย่างให้ดูนะคะ
Okay, so we're going to do an example, Ajahn Narapon, Ajahn Chalayosi and I. Okay, so everyone, all the sites check and guess a story, okay, or any story. What kind of story is this? Or what kind of living picture we are? 1, 2, 3. Okay, birthday. How do you know? Blowing the candle. And what else? Everyone's going clapping and happy. Yeah, thank you. Perfect. All right. Birthday story. Oh, okay. We'll have a little bit more because maybe everyone in the site can. It's the whole team. The site here. I mean, or if you want, sure. If you have many different groups, sure. Okay.
กรุงเทพจะแบ่งเป็น2กลุ่มก็ได้นะคะ2กลุ่มใหญ่กลุ่มเดียวได้ค่ะกลุ่มเดียวก็ได้แล้วแต่ค่ะ2 นาทีค่ะอาจารย์ออกมาข้างหน้าเลยค่ะเชิญเลยค่ะ
So it looks like Bangkok will go first.
ไม่ต้องซ้อมหรอไม่ซ้อมเลยเอาเลย Yes The prince would you please come here
หัวหินหนองคายดูด้วยนะคะ
So I will set it up before Bangkok holds and strikes their pose for tableau vivant. Hua Hin and Nong Khai, please look at Bangkok, the Bangkok team, and guess what the story is. Okay. So Bangkok team, can you hold for 10 seconds? 10 seconds. Okay, hold on, not ready yet. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 10, 9, 10 seconds.
Yeah, we know the story, Ajahn Che.
Okay, what's the story?
What is it อาจารย์ไก่
Cinderella.
Yeah, thank you. Great job, everybody. Thank you so much. You're Cinderella. Oh, that's great. Okay, so who guessed Hua Hin? Was it Hua Hin who guessed? Or Nong Khai? Oh, Hua Hin guessed. Who guessed the story?
Yes, me.
Oh, Hua Hin guessed. Okay, so could you tell us why? How do you know? How do you know?
How do we know? Because we see all of the process that the teacher dance and then like left one of a shoe up. Yes, so we can guess that that's Cinderella's story.
Yes, that's true. That's the clue, right? If that was the one clue, right, and everyone dancing, I guess because they were on, the screen, so you saw the preparation. But if you didn't see the preparation, do you think you could have guessed? You could still guess the story, even though you did not see them prepare.
If I didn't say it, I will guess that it's just it's a dancing. Yes, a dancing in a party like that. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's great. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so now Hua Hin, are you ready to pose?
Yes, we are.
Okay, all right. So now let's so Bangkok and Nang Khai will guess. Okay. So now they're acting. Getting ready.
Wedding ceremony. Right.
Oh, okay. Both Bangkok and Nong Khai said at the same time. All right, thank you. So who would like to explain, either Bangkok or Nong Khai? How do you know?
ค่ายเชิญค่ะ
Nong Khai, okay. Can you explain how do you know that was a wedding?
There are อย่าเพิ่งพิมพ์ไม่เริ่มเขาบอกว่าทำไม There are photographer, right? There is a photographer and the guest coming to the wedding ceremony for both bride and groom. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the bride and groom were their action.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. With the water? Was it
water pouring
falling water for the blessing, right? Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, I think your team is very ready.
Yeah.
First,
I would like to tell all of you that our story is about Thai traditional.
No, you cannot.
Give you a hint.
Okay.
Our story is our Thai traditional story. Yeah.
Okay. All right, a hint. All right. Is it it? Is this it? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Okay, what's the guess? Guess. Someone guess.
Yeah, I know that. Janta Korop.
Second. Oh no! They're happy.
Yeah, it's one of the Thai legends. Yeah, about this lady, being in a small pot. Yeah, and a man was asked to take this pot, along with him, and he was instructed not to open it, but he could not. He was tempted, and so he opened it, and then this lady came out.
Oh wow! Oh, very nice. Thank you. And Nong Khai, you were so excited. So that was I guess because of the woman going out like that, right? How about one of the teachers there? You were wearing shades, sunglasses. Why?
He's one of the characters in this story. I think he's a robber or a thief, right? Yeah. Who is trying to steal this magic lady.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? If only we can do that every session. Maybe we can. So let's think about what we just did, right? With this tableau vivant, the fun activity. How can you incorporate that into your classroom, what you just did? Think about even the activity you did with your site, the planning stage, and doing this together, and the questions you can ask your students. So how can you include this in your classroom? What skills are your students going to strengthen and develop from this kind of activity? or this lesson that can last for more than one day? So I'll give you a few minutes to think about this.
ค่ะหลังจากเราทดลองนะคะทำ Tableau Vivant กันแล้วนะคะอาจารย์เชก็มีคำถาม2คำถามนะคะคำถามแรกก็คือว่าอาจารย์จะนำกิจกรรมลักษณะนี้เนี่ยใส่เข้าไปในกิจกรรมในห้องเรียนของอาจารย์ในวิชาภาษาอังกฤษได้อย่างไรนะคะแล้วก็อาจารย์คิดว่านักเรียนเนี่ยจะได้พัฒนาทักษะอะไรจากการทำกิจกรรมลักษณะนี้ค่ะสัก2 นาทีค่ะ
They bother about the lesson. I will try to motivate them to, okay, everyone, you action. You can action if you want. Up to you. He action. Book.
But based on the lesson that
Yes.
they're learning.
Interrupt. Short time.
Like an intermission, kind of like a break time.
Break time. Yes. It's a good thing for motivate them to set up again.
Right.
Setting.
And I think for that too, Ajahn, besides trying to free them from boredom, besides trying to wake them up, it's also continuing their lesson without them realizing they're continuing their lesson.
I think make them enjoy themselves and to like a learn continue.
Exactly. They're enjoying their lesson and they're still learning even though they think they're taking a break.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Would anyone else here like to share what you were talking about? Even some early ideas? How you can incorporate this and the skills that your students are developing? If we're not ready here in Bangkok, how about in Hua Hin? Would anyone like to share what do you do in your classrooms, or what can you do, and what skills can be developed?
Sorry, today I have the thought, and for this activity can check their background knowledge, that they know, they knew.
Right? You're activating their schema. That's the term for it. To activate the schema, the background, the story.
Yes.
What do they know?
What did they know? Yes.
So you could use this as a warm-up activity or a preview activity?
Yes.
I'm sorry, you were going to say? I think you said something, but...
Yeah, we can use this activity to warm up the student of the background knowledge, last lesson, to review their last lesson about vocabularies they have learned. Yeah, to check it. Can you remember?
Right.
But this, yeah.
Right.
And yeah, that's all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a memory recall, applying what they just learned as a review and practice, right? We'll go into that a little bit later. In terms of homework, students can be assigned this homework. Okay, work in groups. I want you to create a living picture using the vocabulary. Write a story, and your students can guess. And that could be their opening 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? And they'll be like already thinking and excited. That's great, right? And how about in Hua Hin, or even more here in Bangkok? What do you want to do? What do you already do in your class? Or maybe you have an idea and you're not sure yet, so you can share this idea and we can help you develop your idea.
May I share an idea?
Sure, of course.
I use it to summarize after reading. When they finish their reading, and I ask them, what did the story tell us? Please show me in your picture, in your guess. And everybody can guess
Exactly, right. Trying to elicit the message. What did you learn from this story? What do you remember? And so it's not only sharing what the group or the students remember, but then the other class or the rest of the class the rest of the students can then add to what they learned, right? And include that in the message that they just learned from the story or from the lesson, right? Thank you. So, would Ajahn like to explain some more? I think you wanted to add.
ค่ะก็ท่านอาจารย์ก็ตอบมาต่างๆกันนะคะว่าอย่างเช่นอาจจะนำ Tableau Vivant นี้ไปใช้ขั้นระหว่างบทเรียนนะคะพอเห็นนักเรียนเริ่มเบื่อนะคะหรืออาจจะเริ่มง่วงนะคะก็นำกิจกรรมนี้เข้ามาแทรกนะคะแต่ว่าก็ต้องเกี่ยวข้องกับบทเรียนนั้นๆด้วยนะคะหรือว่าใช้สำหรับที่จะเป็นการสร้างสกีมานะคะก่อนที่จะเรียนเรื่องต่อไปก็ได้นะคะคือดูว่านักเรียนเขารู้อะไรบ้างนะคะเกี่ยวกับเรื่องนั้นหรือว่าทบทวนสิ่งที่ได้เรียนมานะคะหรือว่าอย่างอาจารย์อีกท่านหนึ่งบอกว่าพอให้อ่านเรื่องเสร็จแล้วเนี่ยก็ให้นักเรียนสรุปเรื่องทั้งหมดโดยการทำ Tableau Vivant ค่ะอาจารย์เฉลียวศรีมีอะไรที่จะเสริมนะคะค่ะเชิญค่ะ
อันที่จริงอาจารย์สามารถจะทำกิจกรรมนี้ได้ในทุกสเตจของการสอนนะคะอย่างที่อาจารย์นำเสนอเมื่อกี้อาจารย์จะพบว่าเป็นเหมือนกับเป็น pre activity เป็น post activity แม้กระทั่ง while activity ก็ทำได้ยกตัวอย่างถ้าอาจารย์ให้เด็กอ่านนิทานหรืออะไรแล้วอาจจะเป็นเพื่อให้เกิดถึงจุด climax เนี่ยค่ะอาจจะให้เขาปิดหรือว่าอาจารย์ไม่ให้ดูแล้วก็ให้เขาลอง create postท่าเองว่าอยากจะให้เรื่องเกิดขึ้นอย่างไรแต่ละคนก็อาจจะทำต่างกันอาจจะเป็น competition เด็กอาจจะสนุกแล้วก็ให้เดาว่าเป็นยังไงแล้วอาจจะลองสรุปว่าใครชอบกลุ่มไหนเป็นยังไงแล้วก็อาจจะมาอ่านนิทานเพื่อจะมาเปรียบเทียบว่าสิ่งที่ตัวเองทำเนี่ยตรงกับในเรื่องไหมในลักษณะอย่างนี้ก็ได้เพราะฉะนั้นจะเห็นว่ามันทำได้ในทุกสเตจของบทเรียนเลยค่ะ
Thank you.
Yeah, she's just suggesting that perhaps they use a tableau for at the end of the story, yeah, and make different to finish the story and to perhaps they come up with different versions, yeah, and students can interpret differently.
Yeah, that's great. Prediction, inference, a critical thinking skill. Right. Thank you very much. So now we're going to go into our classrooms a little bit more with some sample lessons. And in your handout today, there are a few pages copied from an actual textbook. And the first one we're going to look at is Smile 6 for level 6 students. The only page that's copied is page 29 from the student book. So I'd like you to think about the bodily kinesthetic intelligence and how would you adapt this part of the lesson in your classroom if you were to teach this?
ค่ะจากภาพที่เห็นนะคะนำมาจากหนังสือนะคะ Student Book Smile ระดับ 6 นะคะหน้า 29 ค่ะก็อาจารย์เชถามว่าเราจะapply intelligence นี้เนี่ยนะคะ bodily kinesthetic เนี่ยนะคะกับกิจกรรมนี้ได้อย่างไรกิจกรรมที่อาจารย์เห็นในภาพอะค่ะ
Okay, so would anyone here in Bangkok like to share some of your ideas? How would you adapt this part of the lesson in your classroom? Make it come to life. Make it more engaging using the bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Shall we start here? Okay.
That's okay. Our group opinion is about let the student show about a daily routine. We can make in group and let them show in what happened in what time. Maybe example, when the 7 o'clock, what are you doing? When at noon, what are you doing? Just like that, and let them show, let them action the activity that they do in that time, and let them let the friend the rest of the class guess what is it, what the activity, what the daily routine is happening.
Right. Thank you. Reinforcing some common actions and routines, as well as reinforcing verb tense, right? Actions in the present, actions in the past, also adverbs of frequency, usually, often, always, right? Even knowing the time, how to tell the time, we can teach that too with the action. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Other ideas? How about in Hua Hin? A different activity, perhaps?
Yes. Good morning again. All right. From the picture here, when the student know the activity of some other in the picture already, and then so I asked them, how's about you? What did you do yesterday? Could you just create your own living picture and then let your friend guess what you did yesterday? Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you. Right. That's introducing more vocabulary and different actions. And also, it introduces us to how some students think, right? Not only sharing their personal life, other activities, creating more friendships, but also it reinforces how we allow our students to be creative. Use your imagination. What did you do yesterday? Try to guess, right? And it could even be more fun. And some of them can say, oh, I went to another planet, or did something else extraordinary, imaginary. That's great. Thank you. All right, and how about in Nong Khai? Some ideas from you. Yes, sir. Always the sir here. Oh, the microphone.
Hi.
Is it working?
Hi.
Hi. Okay.
Okay. Great to be back again. Okay. Look at as this activity, we have a pictures. We tell them, look at the picture and guess what kind of the second picture, and guess what kind of music that I listening to. Like this, we check ahead, like we listen to rock music, and let them tell some more interesting adjective words. And the other, like the third picture is like some kind of the work, the housework. Another activity that we show in the picture, or the first picture, maybe another kind of sport. Yeah, like a play football, tennis, badminton, or sepak takraw, for example. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess using the picture as a kind of a, what word am I trying to look for? Like a trigger. You're using the picture as a trigger to spark an idea. So this is watering plants. What else do you do in the garden? What else do you do? So it's related vocabulary and related activities. Here's a sport. What other sports are there? Act it out, right? What other chores? And maybe some students don't want to do other chores. And they have to think other things they have to do in the house, right? Thank you. Great idea. Well, actually, we're going to move on. We did have another textbook, but it is in your handout, and we will move on to something else right now. We have an idea of how we can adapt our lessons using this intelligence, but for now, let's move on to this quick survey about homework and practice. So this now, instead of 2 minutes, we'll just have 1 minute, okay? Brainstorm the following with your partners. What are some reasons for students not liking homework? And second, what are reasons for teachers giving homework? So 1 minute to brainstorm. Just 1 minute.
ค่ะ เรื่องการบ้านค่ะ อาจารย์ก็ได้รับการบ้านทุกอาทิตย์เหมือนกันนะคะ อันนี้นึกถึงใจนักเรียนของเรานะคะทำไมนักเรียนถึงไม่ชอบทำการบ้านนะคะแล้วทำไมครูต้องให้การบ้านค่ะ 1 นาทีค่ะ
We see someone lying down there already. I know it's every time we talk about homework, we don't want to talk about homework. So, as teachers and students as well, why do we not like homework as students? And as teachers, why do we give them? So, what are your thoughts, Nong Khai team? No thoughts. No homework. Okay.
Okay, now I'm a row-up student. Why do I hate this homework? Okay. Sorry, but it's true.
But why? Why?
As a many years of being a student, I always hated homework. Let's say, I don't know. Maybe I'm a.
You're not giving a reason.
Okay, now I have a reason why. Maybe because Thai students always pushed by someone all the time. Like in school, we pushed by teacher. At home, pushed by the parents, and push a lot. And oh my, that's enough. That's why I.
Okay, too
now
much
we take
pushing.
a turn to the teacher. Why she gave me a lot of homework.
Okay, here's the teacher now. Okay.
Yeah, thank you to giving me to be a teacher. So giving more homework, I think because the teacher want to check their student understanding for those lessons, and the teacher want to let because the teacher wants the student to practice more because practice makes perfect. I think so.
Yes, okay, thank you. So, as teachers, you would like to see what your students understand and give them practice so they can be better, right?
Yeah.
As practice makes perfect, everyone
Yeah.
tells us. Very much, okay. How about either Bangkok or Hua Hin? Any new ideas from either the first question or the second question? Yes, here.
My school is among internet cafe, so they want to play game. They prefer to play game more.
So they don't want to do any homework, they just want to play games. Okay. Because playing games are more fun and homework is not. A lot of around here. But okay, any more reasons on why some teachers give homework besides seeing what students understand? Are there other reasons you think? New ones? Yes, here?
Yeah, in my opinion, it's like homework doesn't have the space to make the student creative, to create something new. It's made the same thing, just like writing and more work in the paper, but not have something that make them interested to do it. Don't have something fun, just like that. Thank you.
So you're saying most of the homework that's given is not stimulating enough for the students, and so they're like, oh, this is not fun, right? I see. But as teachers, we still feel that we have to give it somehow? What do you think?
Yeah, this true. Maybe it's we have to find a new way to make our homework in many can do in many styles, just like in play in the video clip, can make the homework in the alternative way, just like play the song, can make the song for for present the present simple tense, just like that, or make the video clip to make the homework about tell the direction, the way, just like that. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a great, this is the reason for this discussion, right? Because we know our students don't like getting homework, but what if the homework they get is actually fun homework? Just the suggestions that you give. And of course, we don't like to correct boring homework either, right? We all know we don't like checking all the tests and giving the grades. But as we know, it's part of our job. But if we make it more fun for them, it will be fun for us as well, right? And there's a lot of tricks to that as well. So going more into homework and practice, this classroom instruction strategy, here's just a very quick review. On the slides here, I want you to pick the best answer. Parents should be actively involved or just facilitate with homework. What do you think? Any answer from any site? Any Hua Hin, Nong Khai, or Bangkok? Parents should be what with homework? What do you think? Just for time purposes, it's just facilitate. Meaning that parents should have minimal involvement, very minimal involvement with homework, with their children. Because research says that when parents are too involved, then it won't be as conducive to learning for the children. So just facilitate. Second one, what do you think? Amount or purpose? The amount of the homework should be identified and articulated, meaning how much, right? Or the purpose of homework should be identified and articulated. Purpose, right? Ajahn Chaliyosi's yes, purpose. When students know what the reasons why, the goals for this homework, it's much better for them to see how they can develop their skills or what is expected of them as a student. The purpose of this is to learn this, so you could be better at this, to know this, right? They're seeing the end goal. And what do you think? Homework should be checked or commented on? Sounds like a trick question, right? You're like, both, right? It's really both, but commented on. When students get feedback, instead of just a check or a sticker or a smile, it's okay. But when you write a remark or a sentence or two about how the student did, how the student can be better, it feels better. The student is reassured, like, oh, okay, thank you, or okay, that's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. So comments are better than just a check, especially for writing, for example, right? Or a project. So these are some generalizations, some general ideas about homework and practice. Parents, of course, are there as support, but their role should be minimal, just helping a little bit, a guide here and there. Practice, structured practice or familiar practice. Structure is like math problems or grammar problems, and if it's familiar, then it's almost like they're just helping kind of engrave it in their brain, right? It's practice, it's familiar. And another kind of practice is preparation and elaboration. So this is what we were discussing earlier today, brainstorming. Think of this idea for next class. What is this story about? What is this Disney character about? What is this problem or conflict about? And they can start thinking about it and be prepared to practice in the next class. And this can help them be more active and engaged and not just be like, oh, this homework, instead of, oh, I'm going to think about badminton today for next week, or think about my favorite movie, or something. My favorite game.
ค่ะอาจารย์เชก็พูดถึงเรื่องการบ้านนะคะและอาจารย์ก็บอกว่าจริงๆแล้วเนี่ยนะคะสิ่งที่เราควรจะสนับสนุนนักเรียนนะคะคือว่าทำยังไงที่จะให้การบ้านเนี่ยเป็นการบ้านที่น่าสนใจนะคะแล้วก็เป็นสิ่งซึ่งสนุกด้วยน่าสนใจด้วยแล้วก็นักเรียนคิดว่าน่าจะมีประโยชน์กับชีวิตจริงด้วยนะคะแล้วก็ส่วนคุณพ่อคุณแม่นะคะผู้ปกครองก็อาจจะช่วยเหลือเพียงแค่เล็กน้อยนะคะที่จะซัพพอร์ตการทำการบ้านแต่ว่าไม่ใช่ลงไปช่วยนะคะแล้วก็ในส่วนของเวลาเราให้การบ้านเราไม่ควรจะเน้นที่ปริมาณแต่เราเน้นที่วัตถุประสงค์เราควรจะให้นักเรียนของเราเนี่ยรู้ว่าเขาควรจะทำการบ้านนี้เพราะอะไรนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นแม่จะให้ข้อเดียวหรือ10ข้อเนี่ยนะคะถ้าข้อเดียวแล้วมีความหมายกับเขานะคะมีวัตถุประสงค์ชัดเจนก็น่าจะดีกว่าแล้วก็เราควรจะคอมเมนต์นะคะการบ้านของนักเรียนด้วยไม่ใช่ให้แต่คะแนนนะคะหรือให้หน้ายิ้มมาตัวหนึ่งนะคะแต่ที่นี่การคอมเมนต์เนี่ยท่านอาจารย์อาจจะบอกว่าโอ้นักเรียนตั้ง50คนในห้องเนี่ยจะคอมเมนต์ยังไงนะคะอย่างหนึ่งก็คือเขียนสั้นๆคอมเมนต์สั้นๆไว้ในการบ้านของเขานะคะหรือถ้าอาจารย์ว่าไม่ไหวจริงๆก็อาจจะรวบรวมสรุปว่าทั้ง50คนเนี่ยเขาทำการบ้านนั้นแล้วเนี่ยจะมีประเด็นไหนที่คิดว่าน่าจะยกขึ้นมากล่าวรวมได้นะคะแนะนำได้เป็นในภาพรวมนะคะแล้วก็มาพูดกับเขาในชั่วโมงต่อไปต้นชั่วโมงซะก่อนนะคะตอนแจกการบ้านคืนดังนั้นก็เป็นการคอมเมนต์อีกลักษณะหนึ่งซึ่งจะทุ่นเวลาลงนะคะอย่างไรก็ตามอย่างที่ท่านอาจารย์เมื่อกี้นี้นะคะได้พูดว่าโรงเรียนเนี่ยอยู่ท่ามกลางอินเทอร์เน็ตคาเฟ่ทั้งหลายอาจารย์ก็อาจจะเปลี่ยนเขาเรียกอะไรฮะให้เป็นประโยชน์ได้นะคะโดยอาจารย์ก็มอบหมายการบ้านให้นักเรียนเนี่ยลองไปเซิร์ชเขาเล่นเกมเป็นเด็กสมัยนี้นะคะตัวเล็กตัวน้อยก็เปิดอินเทอร์เน็ตได้หมดเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยถ้าให้ทำการบ้านซึ่งต้องไปหาข้อมูลบนอินเทอร์เน็ตนะคะก็ไหนๆก็เล่นเกมแล้วเล่นเกมสัก15นาทีแล้วก็มาหาข้อมูลให้ครูสัก15นาทีอันนั้นก็ผสมผสานกันก็น่าจะดีนะคะ
Thank you. So wrapping up here, what do you think about multiple intelligences and their role in giving homework and practice? What are some of your thoughts? This is, I guess you could say, a popcorn kind of conversation or discussion. Whatever idea comes to your head, please just share, whichever site, Nong Khai, Hua Hin, or Bangkok. So how can multiple intelligences, not just from this session, but past sessions, how can they play a role in giving homework and assigning practice? Here's some possible ideas. Okay, I know it's been 2.5 hours at this point. Using multiple intelligences, the idea of that in homework and practice is because we are aware that students learn differently. Many students are stronger in one intelligence than another. And so knowing that it can motivate them if they're going to apply this intelligence they're strong in, and then including a practice that will help them develop an intelligence they're not that strong in. So understanding that and realizing students and everybody, we all learn in a different way. And so homework should motivate the students to use this intelligence or a combination of the intelligences. So we're going to wrap up for today, and for next week we will continue on homework and practice. And I guess for homework for next week, or our last session, and one question would be, what kind of feedback do you give to your students? That could be the first part of the homework. What kind of feedback do you give to students? Why is this feedback important? And another thing is, start thinking about the musical rhythmic intelligence. Just start thinking about it. What is that? What's going on with musical rhythmic intelligence? And as usual, please do try to incorporate some of the activities and ideas that you learned today into your classroom so we can share and have a more meaningful lesson in our last session. Thank you so much. I hope you had a fun time. I did as well. ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you.
ค่ะกันบ้านนะคะที่อาจารย์เชมอบให้สำหรับครั้งหน้านะคะคือว่าให้อาจารย์ลองไปคิดดูว่าฟีดแบ็กลักษณะไหนที่อาจารย์ให้กับนักเรียนนะคะเวลาเขาตอบหรือว่าเขาทำกิจกรรมอะไรก็แล้วแต่นะคะแล้วก็อีกประเด็นหนึ่งก็คือเรื่อง musical intelligence นะคะซึ่งเราจะได้เรียนรู้กันในครั้งหน้านะคะอาจารย์ลองไปอ่านนะคะความหมายแล้วก็ตัวอย่างลักษณะของ musical intelligence มาก่อนนะคะค่ะสำหรับวันนี้คงจบเพียงเท่านี้นะคะขอบพระคุณทุกท่านนะคะทั้งท่านอาจารย์ที่กรุงเทพที่หัวหินแล้วก็ที่หนองคายพบกันครั้งหน้าค่ะแล้วก็รวมทั้งท่านอาจารย์ที่รับชมอยู่ทางบ้านและที่โรงเรียนด้วยสวัสดีค่ะ